Hi guys, and welcome back to another review of in the Fast and Furious series. So yeah, tomorrow I'm basically gonna be watching, Fast 9. But before then, I guess I'm reviewing Fast and Furious 7. The last one for Paul Walker, which, man, the franchise hasn't been the same without him, man. I mean, I don't think the reason why it wasn't as good is because, it didn't have Paul Walker. I think it was because, it just didn't really have as good as a story and it went too far with the over the topness as well. I mean, rewatching 6 and 7, they held up well because they kind of balanced things in the right way and still made us, like those movies. It's just the eighth one, it kind of went a bit too far. It had a weak villain, just a lot of unrealistic moments. But yeah, there was a lot of problems with the eighth movie, which I'll review it sometime in the future. I was mainly rewatching the ones that I like the most anyway, instead of the ones I don't like that much, like 4, 8, and Hobbs and Shaw, which that to me that shouldn't exist. That movie, it should have been Tej and Woman Pierce. They should have got a spin off first if they're gonna do spin offs. But yeah, I kind of heard that Mia and Letty are gonna get spin offs, but I'm not sure about that yet. And why does Mia have to be with Letty? Can't it just be a Letty movie anyway? I mean, she could easily just carry her own movie. But yeah, I don't know what it'd be about though. But yeah, I'm just gonna get into this movie. So basically, this continues after what happened in like Fast and Furious 6, when basically Shaw, the main villain, gets taken down, by our crew. But it seems like he dies, but he's actually still alive and in a coma, if that even counts as being alive. And his brother Decker Shaw wants to get revenge for him. He even goes for like a whole squad unit just to see his brother and then go out to show how dangerous he truly is. Because he's also the guy who took out Han, supposedly. But yeah, we'll get to that. So basically, his mission is to to go down. I mean, go down to where everyone is and find them and take them all out. Because he wants to get revenge on his brother. I mean, for what they did to his brother. Like he wants to take out the whole team that was there when his brother got taken down and put in a coma. Yeah. And Han is one of the victims that he goes after. I mean, because, well, I'm just not sure how much I should say yet. I'm just going to cover a few more things before I get into spoilers. Yeah. So, yeah, basically, what else can I say? Yeah, there's some new cast members like Mr. Nobody, which I'll talk more about him as, I continue on. Ramsey, like another new character. Like, I guess she's like a better hacker than Ted in a way. I mean, they're both great hackers, but I mean, what she actually makes that is like the greatest tool for them in the movie. Yeah, I mean, she's like the creator of that tool, but we'll talk about that in spoilers. Yeah, but Mr. Nobody, like, he's like the most useful person for them. I mean, you could say they both are Ramsey and Mr. Nobody, but yeah, we'll get to them in the spoilers because if I talk about them, like, it also includes spoilers. So yeah, but yeah, this being Paul Walker's last movie as Brian O'Connor, definitely the most emotional one in the franchise because since the actor actually passed away in real life, I mean, seeing Giselle die in Fast and Furious 6 was pretty sad, and in Fast 5 with Vince. But man, knowing that Paul Walker's he passed away in real life, and just the way how they build upon that in the actual movie, especially by the end, man, it's really sad. I mean, watching that for the first time, yeah, it still hurts to this day. It's already been 6 years. Time just flies. And what else can I say about this movie? Yeah, it was definitely a great follow up to the sixth movie, but it's not beating the fifth movie. Like, the fifth movie is always going to be the best to me. And I doubt nine's going to be any better. Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if it beats 6 or 7, but I mainly want to watch it, to see how they bring back Han, like, because it makes no sense how he's alive. Yeah. There's many questions there. See how good of a villain John Cena is. Like, there's always a few things. They kind of have one villain that I'm not really a fan of that they're bringing back, but oh well. At least we have John Cena. Get to see John Cena and Dwayne Johnson duking it out would be cool. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, this was a great sequel. and it truly honors, the late Paul Walker, which we all miss. Rest in peace. But yeah, I guess I'll start talking about spoilers now. So, spoilers in three, two, one. So yeah, where should I start? So basically, Decker kind of goes to a place, well, basically Hobbs's operation place, and basically gets some information to find the whole crew. He even takes on, Hobbs as well, and actually, well, could you say he beats him? Because Decker does get wrecked by Hobbs. But then it's when Alina comes back, because I think Alina was like transferring or something. And when Hobbs goes back inside, he sees, Decker just hacking the servers, and that's when they start to have a fight. And it's when Alina comes when things go bad, because like she's in danger, so Hobbs kind of saves her. And there's like a big explosion because, Decker kind of throws like a bomb. They get smashed out the window, and like from that fall, Hobbs is out for like most of the movie. And Alina's just the one to, spread the message of what just happened and to get Dom and his crew. Yeah. Because they're basically informing them that they're going to be hunted. I mean, the thing that happens next is when Decker kind of calls Dom, like saying, "You don't know me, but you're about to," and then, the explosion scene in front of, Brian O'Connor's son. Like, geez. Like that huge explosion that destroys their house. Yeah. Like, Decker's not messing around. I mean, he takes out Hobbs, he kills Han, and he destroys their home, all at the beginning of the movie. And really, it doesn't really do anything else that bad afterwards because of the people that they get on their side. You know, like they kind of protect him through most of the movie after that. But man, he still appears up like wherever. Like I don't understand how he's able to find them just like that. Like wow, like wherever they are, like he's able to find them anyway. And sometimes it seems like they're in proper danger because they kind of didn't move over threat, but then Decker comes and makes it worse. Yeah. So yeah, Decker's definitely a great threat. Played by Jason Statham in this movie. Which I love Jason Statham. I've always loved him since the Transporter movies. He's my favorite, martial artist. And some of you might be shocked because you'd think like I'd say someone like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, or Bruce Lee, but it's always been Jason Statham. He's always been my favorite. Yeah. And he's a great villain and a great follow-up villain as well to the previous show because he was a good villain too. But yeah, because basically like some guy called Mr. Nobody, he kind of comes at a time when I guess Dom is fighting Shaw, thinking he can beat him because was it in the scene where there was at Han's funeral and he's like spying on them, and then that's when Dom chases him because he's basically stalking him out until he's gonna take him out one by one. However, he was planning to do it. But, Dom chases him to like a place, and then I guess they're gonna have a street fight. But Decker comes out with a gun saying, "You think this is gonna be a street fight?" And then that's when Mister Nobody comes with his soldiers and stuff to back up Dom because Dom might have been killed in that moment. Yeah. And then that's when I start to work for Mister Nobody, and he basically has like, something called God's Eye that can help him find Decker Shaw because without that, they're kind of like prey, really. Like he could just come out and take them on whenever, and they wouldn't be ready. Like when they're sleeping or something, like just any time, whatever they're doing, like they'd be in danger. But having Mister Nobody like kind of helps them a lot. I think it's like an associate of Hobbs, but yeah, it becomes like a great ally to them. And basically, they don't really have this thing called God's Eye. They kind of have to get it. Well, basically, Ramsey is the one who needs to hack it, basically, like override it to get it back because Ramsey is the one who created God's Eye, and they need to, retrieve her. So basically, they come up with a plan, kind of a bit, mixed in with Roman Pierce's plan, to get her by basically jumping from like the sky with cars with a parachute. And it's kind of funny when like the funniest scene for Woman Pierce in the movie where, and it was also in the trailers, basically he gets scared and then he can't get out the plane while everyone else is jumping out. But then like Tej Parker just pushes the button and then he goes out anyway. No. Yeah, and then he's just screaming, and then he's just dangling in the air while everyone else is already on the ground. Yeah, he does help later on when Decker shows up and it actually helps. Yeah, tag teams, Decker Shaw. Basically, Brian O'Connor is the one who retrieves Ramsey and has to fight this Asian guy as well, which another skilled Asian guy, in this movie. And it gets to a moment where it's like Uncharted 2, where basically the vehicle kind of goes and then off a cliff, and Paul Walker's needs to climb out, before it falls. Yeah, the guy says too slow because he basically locks him in, and Paul Walker has to climb out before the whole thing falls down, and basically Letty's the one who saves him. Also, the things with Letty in this movie, because this is the one where she finally is able to remember everything. Because at the beginning, like she is having flashes, and basically Dom takes Letty to race wars to maybe help remember. But then she kind of knocks out one of Dom's friends. Yeah, after she wins a race. But yeah, she's still a great ally in this movie, even though she doesn't even know these people properly because she lost her memory. I mean, she still knows that these people are family, especially because of Dom, and she knows that she can sense like all this history with Dom, but it's hard for her to remember. But it's cool that by the end of the movie, like she actually remembers everything. And it looks like Dom's dying at the end. Like she remembers everything at that moment. Yeah, or maybe a bit earlier. Who knows? When the exact moment when it happened. Yeah. I mean, you could say it was in that moment, but who knows? Unless she literally says it, but yeah. So what else? Should we talk about Ramsey? I mean, there is like a secondary villain played by a guy I've seen in like Blood Diamond. Like he's a great actor. I've seen him in other roles, which are not huge roles. Like I guess in Guardians of the Galaxy when he says "Who," and then Star Lord, legendary outlaw, the guy who says "Who," yeah, that actor. Yeah, he was also in Captain Marvel and stuff. Yeah, but since Blood Diamond, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him as a main character in anything. So yeah, he's always like the villain or like a side character or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, he was cool. Basically, he surrounds Dom, and it seems because basically he was holding Ramsey hostage, but he's able to escape and somehow survive when he basically sends the car just smashing down to a hill. And Shaw was trying to, kill him at the same time, like dealing with all of that. Jeez. Like, how did Dom survive? I mean, he did want a lot of armor plating on it, so they'd be okay. Because he basically escapes with Ramsey and they survive and they recover. And then after that, they need like a device that will help them. Well, that will help Ramsey hack. So they have to go to like Dubai. That part of the movie. That's a fun part of the movie. And retrieve it from this, I guess, prince, because I guess the person that Ramsey knows kind of sells it to like this prince, and they have to go to like this tower and retrieve it. But there's basically like a party going on. I guess woman is like the distraction, so they can sneak in and stuff. Also, oh yeah, Wonder Rousey. Yeah, I kind of made a mistake in my Fast and Furious 6 review, saying that Wanda Rousey was in that movie when she was actually in, this movie. I kind of get mixed up with the actor and then the Wanda Rousey, like, for some reason. My bad, because the one in Fast and Furious 6 is, like, from, I guess, The Mandalorian, Deadpool, while the one in this one is actually Wanda Rousey, so, yeah, my bad. But yeah, that still a cool fight, I guess, but the one in Fast and Furious 6 was way better. Yeah, like, she definitely had better fights. Because she was like a guard, and there was like a few other guards, but Wonder Rousey was the main guard, and she gets taken out by, Michelle Rodriguez, and they basically escape. But I mean, the others escape, but Dom and Brian O'Connor have to drive the car out of the building because they basically couldn't retrieve the thing in the car, so they had to drive the whole thing out because they didn't know where to find it, and everything was getting locked down. So yeah, they just started, smashing through buildings until they retrieved it. Then they had to jump out. And then the car just smashes to the ground. Like that was a crazy scene. Yeah, intense. Then after they have the device, that's when they can actually override and achieve their goal. But basically, they're getting chased by the people who was chasing them before, who had Ramsey hostage, and Shaw's still after him too. Well, they're actually able to find Shaw with God's eye, but he had a backup plan just in case. And Mr. Nobody kind of gets shot in the moment, but he does have a badass moment before then. Yeah, because Mr. Nobody is a cool character though. Yeah, he's a very unique character. He seems like someone like would we really trust this guy? Because he seems like he works with the government, but then like he's actually a cool ally. Yeah, from his first introduction, like yeah, he's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, what should I talk about next? I'm just thinking. I could talk about, I guess, the final part of the movie before attack. Before I start talking more about Paul Walker. But yeah, I mean the stuff about Dwayne Johnson as well because we don't see him until like the very end because he's in hospital the whole time. Yeah, with his daughter, and that scene where Vin Diesel is talking to his daughter saying that he kicked his ass, but then the daughter's like, I think it's the other way around, basically. Yeah, so that's what she says anyway. Basically, kicked his ass. But yeah, like if we've watched Fast Five, we know how it went down. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if I was Dwayne Johnson and Hobbs and my daughter like wanted to know like if I kicked this guy's ass, of course I'm gonna say I did. Lol. But yeah, but it's cool how he helps a lot when things get really bad because like basically they have like some drone that just chases them and is trying to kill Ramsey, and they're using God's eye to find him because like Ramsey doesn't have full control of God's eye yet. Like these secondary villains still have full control, and they basically need to override it with the thing that she has. And I think she needed to be in that. I think she needed to be in that Pacific area to do it, but she was getting chased by the drone, and everyone was just like backing her up and switching cars until we got to the last car, which Letty was in. Yeah, but then that's when Hobbs comes and saves them because in that moment they was pretty much dead. Like Letty and Ramsey, they was pretty much dead because they was basically with Brian first. Then Brian has to separate and fight that Asian guy again, which that was a cool scene. And then they go to Tej and Woman's car. They have to bail out of that. Then it's like the last car, but then that's when Hobbs comes and saves them in an ambulance. Yeah, and then he comes out with like a minigun. Like at that point, like Ramses feels like, oh, I'm safe now because you could tell for the whole movie like she was going through a lot, a lot of danger. You could see it in her face. Yeah, but yeah, Ramses kind of played by I guess that actress from Game of Thrones, who's like Daenerys's servant, or could you say like close ally? I mean, you could say she kind of starts off as servant, but kind of like close ally by the end. Yeah. But yeah. So I guess Brian O'Connor takes on that guy again. This time he wins, and he kind of makes him fall. But this time he's not able to recover like Brian O'Connor did. Like that fight scene was pretty cool. Just going all over the place. Like Brian O'Connor has to take on some of the guards as well. But yeah, that was a cool fight scene, and the way how it ends, saying too slow, just like what he said to Brian O'Connor. But Brian O'Connor actually kills him this time. Yeah. Also, yeah. Dwayne Johnson also takes out the secondary villain as well with the minigun. Like that was a cool scene. Yeah, because in that moment, like Hobbs actually saves both Letty and you know Vin Diesel's character as well, Dom. So yeah, like without Hobbs in that moment, like would they both be dead basically? Would the whole plan would have failed? I think like it would if Hobbs didn't show up. Like three characters would be dead. Like the whole team would be screwed, and then like probably Shaw would go for the rest of the people as well. Damn. Oh yeah. I mean, the secondary villain kind of helps take down Shaw as well. When we're having that cool fight between Dom and Shaw, and it kind of ends with that funny line, weird line. Like the street always wins because basically like I gets shot from the secondary villains that destroys the bridge or car park whatever, and then Vin Diesel just stomps like his Incredible Hulk and then Shaw just falls down. Yeah, And then after that, like, it seems like Dom was just gonna stand there and get killed by the villain. But then, that's when, Hobbs saves him with the minigun and takes out the villain. And I think at the same time, yeah, I think Dom does help by when he's escaping, like he puts a bomb on the helicopter, and then Hobbs just shoots it with his magnum and destroys him, and that takes care of all the villains, I guess. And yeah, they pretty much win, of course, because it is the vast crew. It's Dom's crew. And then you just see we see that Decker is still alive, but he's getting locked up in a maximum security place. And yeah, good luck to him getting out of that. Which, if you've watched the eighth movie, then you kind of see how that goes. But then the rest of the movie, the last part with Brian, yeah, that's such a sad scene. I mean, they kind of end his story by him actually settling down with his kid and stuff, because we kind of see it through earlier, like in the movie, that he has like a son now that he's taking care of, he's taking him to school and stuff. Yeah, but at the same time, he does miss the life. Like, he did miss this life because he was starting to settle down and stuff. But then after this, like, this is like the last time we see him in action, because in the eighth movie, like, he's not really a part of the action anymore. Yeah. I mean, they could have just, did what, because when an actor dies, they tend to also kill off the character too. But, in Paul Walker's case, like, it wouldn't feel right, because, he has a family and everything. Like, is like in the movie, we find out that Mia was having another kid too. So yeah, having all of that, and then his character getting killed off, like, that would be kind of messed up. So yeah, they decided to keep him alive in the movie, and we do get like a bittersweet moment. Yeah, when everyone's at the beach saying goodbye to Paul, or basically Brian O'Connor. But yeah, because in that moment, like, there was a lot of emotions, because it wasn't just saying goodbye to Brian O'Connor, it was kind of saying goodbye to Paul Walker as well. Yeah. Then that last scene on the highway, with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, which basically it's actually his brother, because they had to use CGI in that scene, because it was basically one of his brothers. Because basically one of the brothers, like, well, it's actually two of them that actually helped finish this movie, because Paul Walker did complete 80% of the movie, but the rest, he wasn't alive to finish it, unfortunately. Yeah, so his brothers stepped in and helped finish the movie, because they know that's what Paul would have wanted. Yeah. It just sucks what happened though, with the car crash. But yeah, he'll always be remembered for the Fast and Furious franchise. I mean, he has made a lot of other great movies as well, like Brick Mansion. That movie where there's like a truck, that killer truck that's, chasing after him as well. I mean, he has made a lot of other great movies, but yeah, this is the franchise that he'll mostly be known for forever. Yeah. He'll live on forever in this franchise. But yeah, that last scene, so emotional. Then seeing the flashbacks to all the movies that he was in, yeah, great way to end his character, and to show the legacy of the actor as well. For Paul, yeah. But yeah, guys, I'll probably end it here. So yeah, I guess my next review and the final review for now in this Fast and Furious franchise will be, the latest movie, Fast 9. In the future, I'll probably go back to 4, 8, and, Hobbs and Shaw. But for now, Fast 9 will be the last one I review for now. Yep. Yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
One look, the heat is rising, and I've been cold for so long. One touch and we're igniting.